Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. All the stuff we did not get to during the course of the show today.
We're back.
Betty Rock survived the show today. She was hit or miss for a hot second there.
Listen, after I ate my breakfast, and it wasn't a heavy breakfast, it was a healthy one. I mean, I could not stop yawning. I'm like Gavin during the Aftercast. Like I had to stand up. I had to do something because, I mean, getting back on the schedule is not for the faint of heart.
2 weeks off, and then you have
It's
to
rough.
trudge back in here.
Yeah, the schedule is kind of brutal. Like, I stayed up late, like, almost every night because I'm a night person, not a morning person, and it felt good. I was like, oh, I'm in a good rhythm here. This is great. And then all of a sudden, Wednesday night hit. I'm like, oh, no, I got to get up tomorrow morning.
And like,
I didn't sleep at all last
Your body
night.
doesn't have to adjust to being a night. Like, you can,
Yeah.
I feel like you can just, boom, stay up.
Yeah.
Waking up, that's not easy.
Yeah, I did not sleep well last night. My wife, on the other hand, slept like a bear. Not a baby, like a bear. Like, she was out, man.
I don't know how y'all do it.
I can't. The problem is because she struggles with sleep. So whenever she's asleep, I won't wake her up. Like, and so last night, I had enough, though, because it was tough. I'm like dying to get to sleep.
Let's go.
I put my hand on her head and pushed her head over. Like, she didn't wake up at all. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I think, does she have sleep apnea? Because I would count how long it was when she would be like, and then I literally was like 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000.
That's miserable.
I got to like 10 once on her, and then that hurt me.
Have you ever thought about, because
Sounds
y'all
like
have
sleep
a
apnea.
guest bedroom
Yeah.
downstairs, you got another bedroom upstairs.
Yeah.
Like, what if you converted one of those for you or one for her?
Like,
And that
odd nights
way-
when you need it.
Yeah, like so you can sleep in separate rooms. and
Yeah,
get
I
some
hate that
sleep.
idea. Yeah, no, but I have.
Like a couch, maybe?
I have gone to the couch
Okay.
before. Well, like, again, I so badly don't want to wake her up because she's actually getting sleep. But then I got to get up for work, and so there are times I thought about going to the couch last night, but then maybe she passed out or something from sleep apnea, and then I was able to fall asleep because I stopped hearing it. So I'm not 100%. That or the sock I put in her mouth.
Okay.
One of the two things. But yeah, it was a long night.
Yeah, he got up. What was it? You said you saw 2:30 come in.
Oh, I saw every hour, and I'd get like 20 minutes and then wake up and be like, ah.
But you don't feel like you actually fall asleep, too.
No.
Because you look over and you're like, oh, shoot, time went by. And it didn't really in my head.
It was like sleeping on a plane where you fall asleep for like 20 minutes and then you jolt yourself awake, and you're like, oh, dadgummit.
Miserable.
And then you lay there for 20 minutes hoping you'll fall asleep, and then you kind of do.
Did y'all get a lot of sleep in over the Christmas break?
Yeah, this is the last week when we got home from Christmas. Like, we went to Florida to be with my daughter and the future in-laws, and we had a great time. We were at Disney, and it was we stayed up really late every night, way later than Marty should ever stay up. Like, she was exhausted. Like, Christmas Eve, they do their presents at 12:01 Christmas Eve. And so we knew we were going to stay up for that. So we stayed up. We went to bed around 2 something.
No.
And Marty's not built for that. And then we had to get up the next day for Christmas morning, like at 7 with Haley
What?
to do ours.
No.
And have her.
No,
yeah.
that's just dumb.
Yeah. So I think we ended up at like 8 doing our presents with her. But like, we were up so late, so many nights. And we came back after that. And I hated it because we would stay up late, but then not set a clock. And I was waking up at 8 in the morning, 9 one day.
Nice.
No, I felt so bad. My second half of my vacation, I got nothing that I wanted accomplished. I wanted to build some stuff. I got nothing built. The only thing I did was we cleaned up our closet because we have so many pairs of shoes on the ground. I bought a shoe rack and reorganized the closet and got rid of some stuff. And that was the only thing I did that was even remotely productive in the second half.
Man, I got so much sleep. It's crazy. I should have tallied how many hours of sleep I got.
I believe it.
It had to be 2 days worth of sleep.
Betty Rock called me yesterday at about 4 something, and she's like, "You're learning. Good. Proud of you." Because I texted her. I needed to talk to her about something, and I'm like, "Are you up?" Instead of just calling her.
Yeah.
Because 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a vacation
You don't
day for
know.
Betty,
You don't know.
She either could be sleeping in from last night or in bed for the coming
and
up
if you
night.
wake me up, only God will save you
Yeah,
from my wrath.
I've been there. I've been there many times.
Don't get between me and food and
sleep. Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I loved every minute of it. But my boys, they'll wake me up around 4:30, 5:30, and I have to move to the couch.
Oh.
And I have to fall back asleep on the couch. But
you
I can do it. I have no problem
Oh, yeah.
whatsoever. I just have to open the blinds for them, and then they'll be fine
That's
for
so
another
funny.
4 to 5 hours. And you might be thinking to
Which you
yourself, well,
sleep
why
for.
don't you just go back to bed once you open
Yeah.
the blinds? I would, but they don't like that.
Yeah.
They'll jump on me and while I'm in bed. It's
Yeah.
like they want me to be in the same room.
Interesting.
So anyways, I did that every day, but it was fine. I don't care. I love sleep so much.
I know.
I'm looking forward to my nap today. I hope I can get one in.
If you hadn't always been like this, I'd be like, I think she's depressed. Because depression, like you sleep a lot during depression. But you've turned it into more of an art form.
I love it so much, even to the point where I know where I get it from. Because yesterday my car Jubal wouldn't start up, and so I called my mom, and she was like, well, I'll tell your daddy, but he's asleep right now. So once he wakes up from his nap, I'll let him know.
How nice is that she's going to let him sleep? My wife would have come
Yeah, just
kicking
go
through
get
the
him.
door. Haley needs your help now. I would be up and I would have to go now, you know?
Yeah,
So,
no. I got it figured out. Pastor Chad came and got me.
I love that.
I know. It was fantastic. And then once my dad woke up, he was like, do I need to head up there? I'm ready to go. And I
Yeah.
was like, no, I'm
I'm
good.
slept in.
Yeah. Sorry. Surrogate dad took over for you there, Dad. But did you sleep well? Did you have any good dreams?
I'm okay.
Yeah, I could be dead on the side of the road at Kroger, Dad. But,
I'm okay.
yeah.
But anyways, I'm waiting to hear back on what that's going to cost me because this is the second time I've taken Jubal in.
I know.
It's
I don't
more
know what's
nerve-wracking
going
the
on.
second time when
Right?
when the problem should have been solved.
Yeah.
Yeah, with just the battery, but then it's still not doing it.
Now,
Yeah.
how? Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Gavin, I saw a couple things from you. You had gone to Dollywood,
Y'all.
with Bennett.
Holy smokes.
Pretty good. Did you
That-
stay for a couple days over
No,
there?
it was just one day. So our friends have a condo and then year passes, but they
Yeah.
have four additional buddy passes
nice.
that were. So we had a free place to stay and had a free time at Dollywood.
Nice.
A free ticket into Dollywood.
Wow.
Only spent money on bread.
Airbrush T-shirts
I had asked. I asked if I needed to get a second one
for Betty Lou.
But I
while
told
was there.
you, I said before you left, or before you went, I said, you have to get the cinnamon bread.
It's
because
good.
when you part the loaf, there is a
That's about
puddle
as fun.
of butter.
Yeah,
And it is so good. But you have to get it quick and in the morning.
because they sell out.
They sell out.
They sell out. They've only got, I think I saw, my buddy said 2 locations at the place that they sell, where it's like one in the front, one in the,
Yeah, one by the blacksmith shop.
which is kind of weird because in my head it feels like you could put that everywhere, but they make it on site and
Right.
they have the mill and everything, so maybe it's not that simple. But the expectations for said item are always so high because every last person talks about it there.
Yeah.
and it met it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's
that's,
good.
That's the thing too. is that
That's the thing. You
because
can
it's so
trust me,
high-
okay? You can trust me, but not Wally.
I don't know.
Wally will be like,
Where's that from?
these little pancakes.
Oh, yeah.
They're
Crepes.
amazing.
No.
And then you get there and you're like, these are just pancakes.
Gavin, if I took you through where is it?
you would
Not
be
Scandinavia,
disappointed.
Amsterdam Airport.
You would be
Okay.
disappointed.
If we ever fly through there, I'm going to make sure you get mini pancakes
and
because
you'll be like, oh, I can get these in America.
you'll be like, they're not the same. After you've been traveling for like 10 hours, you're like, oh my gosh.
maybe
so
it's the
desperation
Yeah.
makes you
Powdered sugar jam on tiny pancakes.
Sounds good.
So good.
Sounds good right now.
literally
Yeah.
something you can get anywhere.
Yeah. So
What about Christmas? How's everybody's Christmas?
Christmas is great.
Did you get anything good?
I did. Yeah, I did.
Got that sweatshirt that you now ruined?
that I've already I spilled popcorn butter on
Listen,
it the other
this
day, and
guy
now
is
shrimp
trying-
cocktail sauce.
This guy is trying to drop some poundage,
Yes.
okay?
I
And
can barely see it.
his idea of doing that was to eat shrimp cocktail at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
It is as disgusting as it sounds.
Nobody's
It
thought of doing
smells
this
horrible.
for a diet plan.
It's weird.
It's only 2 points for half of
I
a
don't
Kroger
care.
shrimp cocktail.
Find something else that's
That's
2
11
points worth.
shrimps. I had 11 shrimps
I
this
don't
morning.
care.
Mid-sized
Find
shrimps
something else
for 2 points.
Then he followed it, chased it down with chocolate
Chocolate
pudding.
pudding.
That
At least
is
he didn't dip it.
disgusting.
Now, I personally respect
Ugh.
the I can respect the protein source of
Sure.
shrimp.
Yeah.
The follow-up is the weirder one.
Yeah.
And more on brand, per se.
I gave it like half an hour, so it cleared my palate.
And you're not going to be doing shrimp a lot. Like that you always, I think
No,
you always
I
talk
had
about
it-
the being as a vacation.
Yeah. That's for
thing.
vacation, like on a cruise. I eat shrimp cocktail every day. I feel so bougie. But like when I saw it, I bought it for like New Year's Eve or something like that. I was like, oh, and I did the points on it, and the whole half rack of it was 4 points.
Yeah.
And so
Very healthy.
I'm like, oh, I'll eat half of it. So I had half of it for dinner one night, and then I let it sit in the fridge for a few days, maybe right on the edge.
Marinate.
And then I finished it off today, this morning.
No one it's okay. Let me give you it's very similar.
Yeah.
You've heard of that coworker that comes in, they bring in fish and they put it in the
when they
microwave.
cook it in the microwave,
But they
it's
do it
bad.
for
And people-
lunch.
Yeah.
But people hate them
Yeah,
for
that's
it.
bad, yeah.
Okay. That's you.
No, it doesn't
Yes,
smell
it
at all.
is.
It doesn't smell at all.
It doesn't.
No,
Are
it doesn't.
you kidding?
I'm not
then
kidding.
Your nose is broken.
I'm not
You're-
kidding.
Okay, honest,
No one
truthful,
smells it. Honest, truthful, no one smells it.
Then you're a liar.
No one smells it. Hang on a second.
Open that trash can.
Jeff, can you come in here for a second, please? It's really important.
Wait.
Okay, no one say anything yet to him. No one say anything to him yet. Okay, what mic are you pulling over? 3 or 4? That's 4. No, it's not 2, Gavin. It's
Is
not
that
2.
one turned on?
I think it's 4. Jeff, could you jump in there real quick on that?
Does mic work?
Yeah. Get in there. Let me
Hello?
hear you.
Hello?
Yeah. Okay, we're good. All right. So this is Jeff. Jeff is our boss here at Way FM.
He puts up with a lot.
Yeah, he does.
Not from me, but
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to set the stage, and I don't want anyone to. No, I'm not even going to set the stage. I'm just going to ask him. Do you smell anything out there in the common area?
There's a candle out there, I think.
A wonderful candle.
Yes.
Oh, so someone had to mask it.
No.
Yes, they did.
They always light candles
Yes, they
out
did.
there.
Jeff, okay. I want you to walk out there in the common area, and I want you to just flip the lid of the trash can that's the closest to the fire extinguisher.
Okay.
Just flip it.
See what you smell.
And just take a whiff.
She's
okay?
being so dramatic,
No,
Jeff.
I'm not. No, I'm not.
It's something I think we should take up with HR.
Oh, I do too. What do you think, Jeff?
Grapefruit! That was
Okay,
what
are
Betty
you
was
sick?
eating.
Do you have COVID?
No, Betty was
Let me
eating
no.
oranges, and
Okay,
you put
let
it in
me-
there.
Let me tell you what's
That's
going
your
on.
fault.
This man is trying to lose some weight, and so he's doing Weight Watchers.
Yeah.
And he found out that 2 points are
11 shrimp cocktails.
cocktail.
Oh,
He can
I saw your video.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's disgusting.
Nothing
Why
wrong with
is that
that.
disgusting?
Shrimp cocktail at 6 a.m.
It's fine.
It's disgusting and it smells horrible.
doesn't smell
we
at
should-
all.
Okay, we should have gotten a woman in here. Men are just.
Betty, I love you, but
Yeah.
I don't smell shrimp.
Thank
at
you.
all.
Thank you.
You
I
would
haven't-
have at 6 a.m. this morning.
No.
It was fishy.
I haven't smelled it all morning.
I know. See, that's
so-
the thing. She's
It's
so
terrible.
sensitive.
No, I'm sensitive.
You're sensitive. You know what, ma'am? You just need to calm down.
Wait a minute.
I think I might as well
Jeff,
double
come back.
down.
No, come back, Jeffrey. I want you to be honest, okay? In this room, who is the most sensitive? Who is the one that you have to, maybe tiptoe around?
Maybe tipped for sure, Mr. Wally.
Really?
Yes!
Yeah.
Sensitive!
You think?
You, sir!
No,
sensitive!
I'm the most volatile. Like, I'm the
And
most
you're
reactionary.
Exactly, because you're sensitive.
Yeah, well, no, I disagree.
Yes, you are. You're like a fragile little flower.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Jeff.
Jeff, you're the best.
See you later.
Okay,
Even
so
though he didn't prove
So
your
all
point.
that
Yeah.
to say,
no, all that to say
don't
it doesn't.
bring
you-
in shrimp rock.
no, your
okay, I'm
point-
going to ask our potties. If you're not part of our potty group, then you can when you text the word potty to 91979. That's PODDIE. Tell me, am I crazy?
Yes.
Or is Wally crazy?
What I love though is that Jeff was probably in the middle of some busy business email, and we came in here. No,
Smell the trash can.
Also, I will say that every time, and this is just like, I feel like it's an interesting way to compliment you, but every time you yell these days, which is often
Yeah.
enough.
Me?
Yeah. Like you always sound like Louise from
Oh,
from Bob's Burgers.
yes.
Every time I
thank
hear you
you.
scream,
Yeah.
What did I, say
picture,
that sounded like it?
I don't know, even you just sitting
Jeffrey!
there,
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
thank you.
That's my dad.
Thank you. That's a huge compliment.
You really do.
I love Louise on Bob's Burgers.
Okay, so there we go. Nothing smells. Everything is fine.
Everything smells, and we're all dying.
Yeah.
Hey, did anyone make New Year's resolutions?
I mean, like I set the goal of like wanting to lose weight this year. I'm not gonna treat it like a resolution.
Yeah,
I could have
You
a
don't
bad
want to
month.
disappoint yourself.
his is a big goal too.
Yeah,
like
it's
80
gotta
pounds.
happen.
And
What?
so
I said 60, but
Wow.
needs 80. No, just
no.
kidding.
But I mean, even
You
for
can't say that.
I'm
Follow it
kidding.
with just
80.
kidding.
Yeah.
80
just
would
kidding.
put me at like a very healthy weight.
What would 80
for my-
put you at?
I don't want to say that on out loud.
You don't have
Like
to.
160.
Oh, that's too little. That's too light for you. That's too light for you.
What are you?
I'm 165. I have to be lighter than you.
We're
Because
the same height.
well, roughly.
Minusly,
Yeah.
mean, you're taller.
Well, you
I was one.
No,
I was
you're the
one.
same.
I was about 160 in high school.
You are. Okay, this is gonna sound bad, but it's not.
I think my wife said about the same thing that you might be about.
You're
to
like
say.
I don't want to say a thick kid, but you are built thicker, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like
Which
you would look weird at 160.
because you guys have always not like I was a tiny kid up until senior year of high school.
Yeah.
I was a thin, very
Really?
small kid. Like I was 165 on a good day. For
Really?
for all of high school.
'Cause-
I didn't put on weight till college got their soda-y grips in my.
There are some people when they
Stomach.
lose too much weight, they look weird.
That's what Haley says. She
Yeah.
said like my goal weight is around 200, 190 to 200,
Yeah.
which is still quote unquote overweight, but it
Right.
would be I'd rather be bigger and have like let's say like muscle versus
Right.
getting down to a tiny weight that
Right.
wouldn't have any. I think I'm beyond the going back to skinny part of my life.
I think that you and I should commit to eating shrimp cocktail 3 times a week.
I'll watch you eat shrimp cocktail.
I'm telling you,
I
it was
won't do
so
it.
good, and
I'll quit.
and
I don't
I
like
felt like I was on
seafood.
vacation, and it was just it was glorious. I only had 2 points there. I'm on because I put on 5 pounds during the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas. It was just a free for all, and it's weird. When I was at Disney, I didn't think I was eating that much, but I snacked again, and I was always snacking. We were playing card
very
games,
easy.
snacking, and I drank so much soda to the point where I needed more water. But I also drank a lot of water because my kidney was bothering me, so I started doubling down on that. But I was like, okay, I got to get this worked out. So I came home and I just jumped back in with no help from my
With
wife. My wife was
shrimp
like,
cocktail.
we're gonna start tomorrow, and then tomorrow's like, we're gonna start tomorrow.
Well, that's how I in my head. Yesterday was the new year,
Yeah.
and so I'm like, okay, we're gonna start tomorrow. But it was also the last day of vacation.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like,
Yeah.
am, like
That's what
treating-
my wife
Yeah,
did.
it's like
Yeah.
you can either treat life as 365-day segments, or it's all one
Yeah.
Yeah.
long stretch. So.
But the thing is, like, the difference between that one day, the easy thing is, oh, well, one day doesn't make a difference. But one day turns to 2, turns to 3, and it's like when you sometimes making the decision in the hard thing and sticking with it feels good. Like, I'm really bummed because my wife, like, same argument, and we ended up going out to dinner yesterday, like a late afternoon lunch dinner, like a big dinner. And I really, in my head, was like, okay, I'm going to have turkey sandwich tonight. Like, I was set to do that. And then it was like, oh, okay. So we went out. So then I just had one big meal that day. Like, I didn't have a big lunch or a big breakfast and things like that to offset it. But I was committed, and I faltered. I gave in.
Oh,
I did.
that's tough. Yeah.
you had asked about resolutions, though.
Yes, I
And
did.
we
Do you
obviously
have one?
Jump on fitness. You're usually never on the fitness one. Maybe dietary wise, but
Fitness Chick-fil-A in my mouth.
that's right.
Yeah. I'm gonna practice more gratitude.
Oh, well, you're
And?
welcome.
Mm-hmm. What?
And what?
What? But at the end of the day, I have this new journal that my mom bought me,
Oh, nice.
and I bought this printer. It's like they call it a pocket printer, I think.
Uh-huh.
But
Oh yeah,
it's Bluetooth
Yeah.
and it connects to your phone, and then
I've seen that.
you can print off whatever picture you want.
Oh, cool.
And then what I do is I print it off at the end of the day, and then I write about it and why I'm grateful for it. And then at the end of the year, I'm going to be able to look through it and see all the neat things.
All right, I'm going to send you some of my pictures of me
Oh, please don't.
so
no,
that you'll have those.
I'll delete
Day
them.
one.
You'll have them like day one, like first
I'll
thing to be
just-
thankful for.
Delete.
Day
Delete.
one Buford, day two,
Yeah.
whoever your second favorite one is.
Rayford. Then
Oh, no,
Buford,
Rayford's
then
number one.
Rayford.
Yeah.
Then Buford.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
true.
Well, that's good. That's a good goal because
Yeah.
I think it was Zach years ago that had said it's hard to be anything else when you're grateful. Like it's hard to be angry and grateful. It's hard to be, jealous and grateful and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's really, really good advice. One day. Well, I'll tell you, man, like you laugh, but like I was on this last vacation. I was pretty chill 90% of it. There's still life stuff that really bothers me.
Yeah.
Like with people acting the fool and
Yeah.
out in public, people being dumb.
Totally.
Like it bothers me. But like I was definitely calmer. And then I thought, what's the common denominator? Why am I not angry? Why am I not stressed? I'm like, Betty is not here.
It's funny how I can say this.
I know, right?
People are like, you seem so much more
Yeah.
healthy
Yeah.
emotionally,
Yeah.
physically,
Me too.
mentally.
They're like, what are you doing different? I'm
And
like,
I'm like,
not seeing Betty every
not
day.
seeing Wally every day.
Oh,
Are
I
you?
will, I
go
will
ahead.
say that it's like getting back to here. One thing, so going into the break, my mindset was like, I need this time off. Like I just
Yeah.
need this,
Yeah.
couple weeks to relax. But then towards the end of it, even though I love him to death, I'd reached that point where I'm like, I've talked to like a baby a lot.
that's what women. That's
over
what women experience.
Over 2 weeks, I have
Yeah.
spoken with Bennett a lot.
Yeah.
And he's verbal, so it's a two-way conversation.
Right.
18% of the time. But I was like, I am looking forward to going in here and talking to people
Yep.
that
That's how Joy feels. I've
Yeah.
heard
Yeah.
her say that multiple times because she's at home working with those two kids, and she's like, and I'm so excited to get to work because it's actual people that I can
Yeah.
talk to.
Joy shows up. Joy gladly shows up
yeah,
to meetings.
she's like, "Hi, everyone."
We're all trying to get
How are
out of
you?
meetings, and like
Yeah,
Joy.
we're like, Joy,
Yeah.
shut up.
Yeah,
She does-
exactly.
she's I've seen her in a better mood when she shows up here versus when she's when she does the
Zoom, yeah.
and she's got her girl in her lap.
Yeah.
You can just sense this like, oh, this is hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so many women would say that. They're like, I just need to talk to an adult if they're the ones being the primary caregiver for the child.
Hey, that reminds me because I was just watching it. There's this thing that everybody's talking about, and it's on TikTok. It's called cognitive dissonance.
Cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
Have you
Okay.
heard about
I've
this?
heard
No.
the phrase, but I
Okay,
don't
so
know why
it's-
it's trending.
So it's when, and I've heard Wally say this. It's where you do something wrong on purpose so you won't get asked to do it again.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, but it's a real thing.
Really?
But there are some women that are getting on TikTok and saying that's what ended their marriage
Oh.
was because the man was like there was one example of this woman. She's at her kitchen sink and she's cleaning the dishes. She's pregnant with their second, and you can hear her husband in the background going, "Hey, babe, he pooped," and she's like, "Okay," and he's like, "Do I need to change him?" Yeah. Like,
How do
it's-
I do that?
And I get it. Like, there's a lot of women that are talking about there's a reason why we feel drained is because we can't really shut down.
Right.
Because everything comes back to us. You're constantly asking us, where's this?
Right.
Should I do this? Like, at
if
some
you
point,
wouldn't move things or you would allow someone to do
No.
things their way, then it
The
wouldn't be
wrong
as
way?
hard. Yeah, see, that's it. That wouldn't be as hard on you.
maybe this is the reason why I'm not married.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's because the Lord was like, I really have to work on this man before he'll marry you. Like,
Or
he has to see your way.
He's like, I'm protecting him. I'm insulating
No.
him while
No,
I'm
no,
doing
no,
some
no,
work
no.
on Betty Lou, making her more grateful.
I would be out of my mind if I had to live with a man that was acting like a child.
Yeah, I think that there's an element to guys where you don't want to grow up a whole lot. You know, you want to still have fun. Like I have a race car simulator on my PS5.
That's fine.
And my wife loves it. Like I have something that I enjoy
Yeah.
doing. I'm in the same room with her. Like it's great. So like I love that. But when she needs help, I'm there and I will help. Now, the problem is when she'll ask me to do something and I'll do it the way I want to do it or the way I think it should be done.
big
But
one.
then you micromanage it. Then it gets easy to go, well, why don't you just do it then? You know, and so that's where you have to balance that out in a relationship where, or sometimes if I do something and I'm like, oh, you should be appreciative of this. And it's like, oh, yeah, but you didn't do this as part of it. I'm like,
But don't you think if the tables were turned, you would feel the same way as the woman? Like if you had a certain way you did things and she
but-
didn't do it that way,
right.
and she's like, well, you should just
but
be
I would
happy
shut
that
my
I
mouth.
helped you.
I would shut up about
Would
it.
you?
No, I would. Honestly,
Yeah,
like
I have.
if she was going out of her way to do something and she did it differently, I would tell her thank you. I'd be like, oh my gosh, that is so nice of you, babe. And then quietly behind her back, I would go reorganize it or do
That
whatever.
just gives more work for you.
Yeah, I know, but I would appreciate the effort that she put forth, and
So
I
let's
wouldn't want
say
to undermine that.
Let's say she came here and she cleaned up the way you organize your paperwork on your desk.
It would
Okay,
be really wrong to do, yes.
but
I would appreciate it. Babe. Yeah.
I tried to help you.
Yeah, I would tell her. I would tell because she tries to help me all the time. This is the thing that I'm learning in relationships after 36 years with her. But I am learning that, like, because I don't like to be micromanaged at all. Like, it's bad. It's ADD stuff too that I did more research on. And like, you don't like to be told things because you feel like you're wrong. And like, you take simple suggestions as inferiority. And I'm
Did
like,
that hit home for you?
oh, 100%, 100%. And so, like, for me, like, I will be, if she's telling me how to do something, it's not that she necessarily is telling me how to do it because I'm an idiot. It's that she truly is wired to help. Like, she literally wants to help me avoid problems in life or be better. And she's trying to help me, and she's going about it her way. And so I have to realize and understand and accept she's just trying to be helpful. She's not trying to control me. She's not micromanaging. In her world, it's being helpful, and so I have to respect that and appreciate that. And there's days when I really do and I'm good at it. And then other days when my head's in a different headspace, it like makes me mad, and I'll walk out and be like, okay, she's just trying to help and she's not micromanaging you. Just calm down.
Calm down.
Don't go nuts.
Everybody just calm down.
Yeah. But I think women are wired as helpmates. I mean, that's biblical. I think that's how God wired us. But guys don't always receive it in the way. Two things. Guys don't always receive it in the spirits and intended, and sometimes women don't always give it in the proper way either. Some women do nag, versus
What's considered nagging to you?
like if you've told me something, hey, I need you
Take
to
out
do
the
this.
trash.
Yeah, hey, I need to do this. And I've said, okay, I got it. But I don't do it right now. And you keep asking me or passively aggressively asking me multiple times
In the same day or the same week?
within hours or whatever. Yeah. Like I will then resist that, or I will say something like about that. Like I will, with my wife, I would be like, look, I hear you. I got it. I'm just going to do it on my timetable, but I got it. I'm not going to forget. Then we get in bed,
forget?
and she'll be like, did you take out the trash? Dang it! I'll have to get out of bed and go take out the trash. So that has happened. In her defense, yeah, stuff like that has happened. But typically, I'll do things in my time frame because she's the same way. Like if I ask her to do something and I'm expecting it to be done the way I view it, she never does it the way I think it should be done. And I think that's the thing. Expectations are the biggest parts of relationships, because I had a pastor once tell us that when you meet somebody's expectation, you've just gotten to zero with them. Like your expectation is this is how it should be done. And so when somebody meets that, they're all happy, like, oh, I did what you wanted me to do. And you're like, well, you just got to the basic level, And so we have so many expectations on people in our relationships, whether it's spouse, whether it's work, whether it's friendship, and there's so much unsaid that it's no wonder people get bothered all the time because you didn't meet that expectation because they had no idea, and so that's why you got to talk more.
Well, and I think too, you do really well with seeing a need and doing it and not waiting for someone to come to you and be like, hey, can you do that? You're very
I
good
try.
about being intentional.
Thank you.
About seeing a need and helping, whether that person wants your help or not.
Correct.
Which is like the amateur first responder.
100%.
That's you get in the way.
Yeah.
But you are very good about that. And I think I've said, like, you're either a 2 or an 8. I think you're a 2, but you're a super unhealthy 2. I think I need to find someone that is a 2 as well, but a healthy 2 and less ADHD.
Yeah. You mean like as a partner?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because I like
I thought you meant it's like a coworker. I'm like, are you getting rid of me?
I thought you
no.
were saying it as
I'm
like
saying
like
as a husband.
to compare.
Right.
I think I need to find someone that is good about seeing a need and doing it without me having to treat them like a child and say, do this, do that. Like that's going to start getting on my nerves.
Absolutely.
And you're good. You're really good about not having to do that.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I have to do that with you.
Right.
Enneagram speed dating.
there are things that also like
No.
that you have to
Sorry.
Oh, yeah,
figure
there's
out.
things that I drive you crazy on, for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
virtual.
this is funny. The you're gonna hate this. So remember how I had the argument with the doctor's office about moving my
Oh
appointment?
yeah, and you talked about how you were going to walk in there and tell them what's the point.
And I
you
did
insisting?"
politely. I did, and I told you I would probably go in very polite, and I did. But anyway, so I got a over the break. I got a notification that they could move my appointment up from May to last week sometime. And so I changed my appointment, and I
Last
then
week or next week?
no, last week. So I changed my appointment to accept that new appointment, and then I got the bill from them for my time that I got hosed sitting in that room for an hour, and they met with me for 4 minutes, and I got like a Z pack, and it was $200 and something, and I canceled my appointment.
Wally.
Because I'm not giving them any more money. Like,
Wally.
it's crazy.
Pretty expensive.
I know. That's nuts.
How does insurance make that
Yeah.
not a thing? Like,
It was so wrong. So I changed the appointment, and then I got my bill, and they're like, "Oh, you need to pay this first." And I'm like, "What?" And so I wrote on my thing. I wrote, "I'm going to cancel this appointment." It says, "Why are you canceling this appointment?" I said, "I'm canceling this appointment because of my bad experience with your walk-in clinic, and I'm not giving you more of my money."
Wait, was this when they forgot you were there and you had
Yes.
to actually go and find them?
Yes.
Yeah, I understand that
Yeah.
completely.
So it's like,
But you
Yeah.
still need to get diagnosed.
I do and I don't. Because then this.
I don't think.
I don't think we have time for this. Actually,
Tell me.
Well, it's 31 minutes
Just tell
into the
me.
Aftercast.
Make it short. Try and not be yourself.
There is
Make it short.
there is something interesting, a dynamic between me and my wife on this.
She doesn't care if you get told that you do have it or not. She's like, you're fine.
Yeah, well, yeah, she's like, well, you've lived with it this long,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
But
you're 50
the bigger thing is like I think she is actually against me taking any medicine for it. Is what it really feels like, because
Okay.
every time she brings up, well, you have to go in every month. And this was the breaker for me. You have to, when you do the ADHD medicine, you have to go in, you get a 30-day supply, and you have to go in and meet with your doctor every month to get your refill. I thought she's
That doesn't make sense.
I thought she was being wrong too. I've talked to multiple people that have that, and they do. They have to go in every month to get their thing. So I'm going to go in every month.
Why?
I'm going to pay $70 for the medicine monthly, and then I'm going to have to go in and meet every month for $200 to
Yeah.
get that. I'm like,
No, that
absolutely
doesn't,
not.
I get that. That doesn't make sense.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like on your
But-
the molecular side of
But
your
think about this.
Yeah.
I think we talked about this with telehealth. I think they could do it over telehealth.
I am going to try that.
Okay.
So yeah, I am going to try that.
And you said too, even if it helps with you mentally,
Sure.
like you've dealt with some things where you're like, I don't even know why I feel this way, but it's
Right.
just I wake up feeling this way.
Right.
And it's like we found out that could be an ADHD thing.
Right.
Well, then that's a
Sure. Like
Help
that's what, but
to
it's
you.
what it's really weird in that my wife has some weird hesitancy about this.
Have y'all talked about it?
Vaguely, like not like I've even brought it up with her. I'm like, it feels like you're resistant on this, and I said I'm just trying to get help. But she's like, well, she's like, I don't know, you're like you're fine to me, like you've always been this way, and she's like, I don't have a problem with you, you know, and so
Well,
she doesn't see it, and I said, is it because like Betty thinks I need to change, and so like you as my wife are like, wait, why is someone else telling you need this to change, and is that factoring into it, like
Yeah.
that kind of decision? She's like, no, absolutely not. It has nothing to do with that.
I don't think it's so much that I don't want you to do it just to prove me right.
Right.
I just want you to realize that there is something in you that's not the norm.
Sure.
Okay, and I'm not asking you to change,
Right.
but
Is
also
it a
too
detriment?
when there are days where you're just like hell bent,
Mm,
it's like that wears on me.
sure.
And so, and I've said this before, I think you're a more unhealthy version of yourself here than
Than
you
at
would
home.
ever be at home.
For sure.
And I think Marty, I don't blame her. Like,
Yeah, Marty gets the best of me.
Oh yeah, yeah, and rightfully so. I mean,
Which
she
is
married you,
sometimes
she
not
earned
always
it.
the case.
Right?
But
yeah,
I
yeah,
would say in this atmosphere,
yeah.
it could be helpful.
Yeah. No, I think that you definitely you get the harder version of me
More
to manage.
broken.
Yeah,
more,
that's fair. That's fair. You get
the fishy side, the one that eats the
shrimpy.
shrimp.
Yeah, you get the shrimpy side of me.
at 6
Although
a.m.
she got the other half of that. So
Yeah, but I'm sure it was like at lunchtime or dinner.
yeah, and then I put it in the fridge, the stuff so it wouldn't go in the trash can and smell of our house.
I will never believe you. Listen to me. You always say, I won't lie on Honest Truthful. I won't lie on Honest Truthful. You did.
Why?
Rewind the tape.
Why did I rewind?
You said Honest Truthful, something about that it didn't smell.
Oh, I don't smell it. I just did because I know in my house.
Out there it does.
It doesn't. I swear I don't smell it.
And in here it did.
Honest Truthful, I don't smell it. But
I don't care.
But like my wife, like I knew my wife because I know my wife. My wife is so sensitive to smells. Maybe you are too. And like
Maybe
knew,
it's just you. What's
I knew
the common
if
denominator?
I threw it in the trash, I would have to fish it out and then go do it. So I told her about seeing that need. I said, hey, I'm going to put this in a plastic bag and put it in the fridge till trash day. And she was very appreciative of
Yes,
that.
I would be too.
Yeah, and so that was looking out for her.
Why
I
aren't
do
you
think
that
you
way
have-
here then?
Yeah. You have a sensitive smell though.
Yeah.
I think because
I'm sure.
because even when we close the door, like you want to close out the candle.
Yeah, because
when
it just gets too strong.
Yeah,
for
I'd
me.
never think about it.
I would never think
Yeah,
about that.
I'll admit that I do have a sensitive nose, but you have to admit when someone walks in with a half thing of gas
but it's-
station cocktail,
No, it's
shrimp
simple.
cocktail,
It's
and
better
they're
'cause
eting
it's
it.
cold. If
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
he had heated that,
Just thinking
sucker
about it, I
yeah.
just want to throw up.
If you
it's
had
like that
heated it up, we would have been in trouble.
Fisherman's
Oh, for
Wharf
sure.
jambalaya.
Oh,
I would
that's
have
how-
thrown
It's
up.
one of my favorite meals that I make. I
disgusting.
should bring you some.
No, you have before,
I
and
know.
I
Good
have tried it.
ingredients.
I know.
and it is terrible.
It makes me
not
want to
good.
bring it for what?
I tried it for like.
You didn't like it?
Yeah, we tried it on air
Yeah,
one time.
I know. I remember that.
Yeah,
disgusting.
I wouldn't eat it often.
I wouldn't
Oh,
choose to eat
sorry.
it unless I'm hungry and in the middle
Make
of
it.
an
I got to figure out how
Let's
many
try it
points
again.
it is because I'd like to have it again. It's good. All right, you know what? We did go a long time on
Do you
this.
do
No,
things
let's-
just to
let's
make
go.
me angry?
Yes. Honest, truthful.
Okay.
All right, that's going to have to do it for your Aftercast for today, and thanks for being a potty.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.